Basketball is not an easy sport to recreate in a video game. Just making the free-flowing action look natural is hard enough, but when you throw in the monkey wrench of human control, it makes it much harder to animate a player that moves both realistically and exactly the way the person holding the controller wants. Motion capture and good programming can only do so much, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices. NBA Live 10 is definitely fun to play, even if at times you feel like you're really just a director of animation and the virtual players on the court are listening to your suggestions. Passing and shooting are single-button functions. The right stick moves your dribbles around and executes different ground moves, and the turbo on the right trigger helps everything a little, including dunks. Defense is also fairly easy. Stay close to your guy, and the player will take care of staying on him. It's no lock, and none of this means that the game is a breeze by any means, but at least it won't scare you off the first time you try it. The controls also expand into more capabilities for people who want to mess with it. Quick strike, ankle breakers, pick and roll control, direct passing. All of these kinds of things are available to the player who wants to dig a bit deeper and give themselves some more options for taking the rock to the hole. I hope I'm not making NBA Live 10 sound like some sort of arcade basketball title. It's not. In fact, it's filled with complexity, most of it constantly bubbling under the surface. If the game is meant to be accessible in its basic playability, it's also meant for the serious fans when you get what's running the AI engine underneath and making the gameplay real life in a bigger, more non-visual way. Last year's edition marked some grand improvements of the series. This year, the graphics have improved even more. They even seem to have got the blousy uniforms under control. Up close, players look much like their real-world counterparts, if still a bit grainy in the flesh tones. But at television presentation distance, at which you'll be playing mostly, the game looked exactly like the real thing. Approached at a distance on a moderately sized HD TV, a game in action in NBA Live 10 would easily be mistaken for a live game on television. Just that overall feel of correct rhythm and natural-looking footwork makes the whole thing so much more believable, and from a gameplay point of view, that's crucial. The big innovation for NBA Live 09 was the player DNA system, which broke down attributes and tendencies to a degree rarely seen in a video game. This year, they took the foundation they built with the up-to-minute player ratings and went one better by including a dynamic season mode. It basically means you get to play the real-world games as they happen, with the latest roster and individual player DNA updates. The improvements of this latest game are impressive nonetheless, but it feels like a long road to when truly great basketball games grace our consoles, a revolutionary and defining game of its genre. NBA Live 10 is making progress in the right direction. This just in, NBA Live renamed itself NBA Elite. They brought in the producer of the widely acclaimed NHL series and set about fixing two huge gameplay areas, random shooting and losing control once you entered a two-player animation. This video will explain how they hope to fix that beginning in NBA 11. Shooting becomes skill-based on the right analog stick, and player movement and interaction moves fully to real time. NBA Elite 11 is, naturally, promised to be night and day different from, and better than, its predecessor.
Compared to, what it was and what it could be.
There are two main complaints we've heard about basketball video games. The first is losing control of your player.
You'd be stuck in two-man animations and you feel like there's that sucking and pulling feeling where you're not in control. We completely had to go away from that.
The second is that shooting is based on luck. You press a button, the ball goes in the air, and you have no control over whether it goes in or not. And that's just not realistic. The two biggest changes that people will notice in our game this year are the new hands-on control system and the new real-time physics system. There's never been a basketball game before where real-time physics is running at all times. This means that anything can happen, and every time you play the game, you'll see something different.
So with the new controls, we're really excited about the different tools that we're giving the users this year.
With hands-on control, the left stick is your feet and the right stick is your hands.
Okay, I can't front. That's a good idea right there.
There's one-to-one movement with the controls, and shooting is based on skill. You have total control over dribbling.
Okay, I can't front again. That was a great spin move.
Shooting. Dunks. Layups. And even defense.
Wow, I love defense, and that block looked really good. I can't even front.
We're giving you the control to create amazing moments. We don't want to program in the amazing moments, we want you to create them.
That's exactly what it feels like in real life. That's what it's supposed to feel like. That's what it's supposed to look like.
It's the most realistic basketball game you'll ever play. There's a lot I haven't told you about yet, so to learn more, sign up on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.